Look at that. We're back.
Welcome,
Brayden,
everybody.
Casey, how are you guys?
Hello,
Doing good,
Tom.
man.
Hello, Brayden.
Yeah.
What's up,
Well, you got a
guys?
new guy on here. You got Casey in here today from our design team, Brayden. He
Casey, what up? How's your day going?
It's going good. Very busy as usual here, live from the dungeon here at IAL headquarters here in beautiful Las Vegas. We're working very hard
he's
out here. So
he's got a busy day as we're Brayden, as you know, we got a lot of things happening in with some late deadlines in Europe. We got some promotions and events going on over there. We got a big international exhibition going on the 27th. We got a big tryout going on in Vegas
Yeah, on the
coming up on the
21st.
21st. And yesterday, the reason I brought Casey in is yesterday we were talking as a group and going through some things, and Casey, for one of the first times, piped up and asked some questions, and I said, "Those are some good questions, Casey. Why don't you ask those some other time?" So I figured I'd bring him in here. Casey's been with us for a long time, and he's a really big part of what our imagery is and our designs are. He leads our design team. He's come up with a lot of the logos and colors, and he's helping with jerseys and just a lot of things. So he's got his hands in a lot of different things, but he oversees our design team. So he's another guy that, plays an important role on a daily basis. And I thought it'd be good to get him in here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree. Tell us what you've been busy with, Casey.
well, like Tom was just saying, I mean, we got a lot of stuff going on leading up to the launch of the league here. Uniform stuff, getting the branding set for each team, which is, there's a lot involved with that. Logo designs. We have a design team here now. Everyone's been busy doing, flyers, posters, promoting the league, promoting the teams. So there's a lot going on here when you're dealing with 10 teams, across the planet, and every team's got their own identity. So it's important to, give them the attention they all need. So we've been very busy here, but I think a lot of good work's coming out so far.
How'd your
But
morning start today, Casey?
what's that?
How'd your morning start?
It started. I'm ready for whatever any day, man. It was a busy day to start today. We trying to get the website going and merch site and everything else going on.
So I called. The reason I brought it up, I mean, you can say I called in the design team together and I gave them some tight deadlines. And today, and they're piecing stuff together, and we're getting them some stuff from printers across overseas. And it's interesting because they have different measurements over there. When they're dealing in print, they deal in centimeters, not inches. We're dealing some bigger stuff that are in meters and not feet. And so we're siphoning through stuff. We're translating stuff from German to English, and then getting them back stuff. So they're having a busy day over there, and I think it's just another day at the IL. Right. These guys are, every day we have some deadlines and things going on. Yesterday, like you mentioned, was a pretty big day. We launched the new website, got the website up there. The merch is up there, and Casey's going to oversee that stuff as well. We got lucky with Casey. His last gig, I think, was over at UFC. He's a big rock fan. So we share a lot in common. We talk a lot of music together, but he handles a lot. But he's kind of the quiet guy in the office, and so it's good to get him out here and get him talking.
Get me live in front of millions of people.
Yeah, bringing you out of your shell, Casey.
Well, we're busy in here in the cave in here every day, man. We got a lot of things going on, so But I tell you what, I listen to all the live streams, and while I'm working and stuff, it's all been really cool. Brayden, I think you've done a really good job so far, and it's always interesting to hear what Tom has to say. So glad to be here today.
What kind of questions you got for him, Brayden?
I actually got a lot of questions. So a lot of fans have been kind of wondering, or I guess a question that I've heard a lot from fans is, how soon can we expect team uniforms, and especially uniforms to go on sale for fans to purchase?
Well, I think you're getting a good glimpse of what the uniforms are going to be by these really cool new commercials we're putting out so far with the Rockers and Slingers, and the new one today with the Benjamins. So you're getting a glimpse of what the uniforms are going to look like. They're all pretty much done home and away for each team. And then as far as fan jerseys go, I think that'll be maybe closer to the season or when the season starts where they can grab
I can tell you, Brayden, that there's going to be a jersey release day in early April. So we're going to get past the tryout on the 21st, the game on the 27th, and I think the following week you'll see a jersey release day on social media for all the teams. So what'll happen is this: on the 18th of this month, all the teams' individual websites are being released. We released the IL main website yesterday, and then all the team websites were released on the 18th. Then we have the tryout on the 21st. We have the game in Stuttgart on the 27th, 28th, I think. Then the following week, I think you'll see jersey releases across the globe, all in one day.
Yeah, we're all super excited about that, myself included. I definitely want to get some merch too when it becomes available for sure. And I know a lot of fans are pretty excited for that too.
Let's make it clear. Merchandise is available now at ilfootball.com for every team.
ilfootball.com.
Yeah, merch is available now.
Okay, I didn't realize that. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know for the fans that want to buy merchandise. Shelby Stockton in chat says, still waiting to hear if my team made the reading team. Then we will be buying like 10 season tickets and have a few sponsors. That's awesome, Shelby. We're excited too, and hopefully, if your kid made it.
What's the question?
Not a question. She says she's going to be buying 10 season tickets, and have a few sponsors as well. So we're excited for that.
Let's let her know that there's an announcement coming out that on. Geez, we're actually wrapping it up today. So Greg is actually at the arena today, wrapping up 2 dates in which we're going to be promoting at the hockey game, the Reading the Royals.
Right.
And during those 2 games, you can get season tickets 2 for 1. So look for that announcement, because if you're buying 10, you only pay for 5 and you'll get 10. So we'd love to have you show up at the Reading Royals, go to our booth, and get yourself season tickets on those nights. And I think that announcement will probably come out early next week, because they're wrapping that information up today.
Yeah, most definitely, Shelby. I definitely encourage you to look into that, because anytime you can save money, that's a win in my book. So. So one question I want to ask you, Casey, too, is that you said you have home and away uniforms. Is there going to be alternate uniforms, or have you not started on that yet?
We just have each team will have a home and away jersey, different colors, different styles. Are you meaning like a third version?
Yeah, like a third, like an alternate, or like the NFL.
Hey, you're digging in deep, Brayden. There might be an announcement in the future on that. Typically what we do is we do have an alternate uniform, but we tie it to a game or a cause and try to raise money for awareness of a certain cause or a charity. And so I think there'll be some announcements on that. I know that 2 of the teams play on the 4th of July. I know that we have a couple games on Mother's Day and a couple games, I think, on maybe around Memorial Day. Typically you see uniforms going to raise money around those dates.
Yeah, and the Las Vegas Rockers play on the 4th of July in Pennsylvania. And when I was running I do the Rockers podcast for those who don't know. Got moved. And I just think it's so cool that the Rockers are going to play Pennsylvania on the 250th anniversary of United States. And so I think it's super cool because, Pennsylvania, a lot of our country's history has taken place back there. And so it's cool that we're getting the chance to go over to Reading, Pennsylvania, and the Rockers, hopefully they come away with a win. I think it's cool, and hopefully we can see maybe an alternate uniform on that date, like Tom said, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see for that.
I'm assuming we'll see something special. It's good. Yeah. Listen, that's a great matchup because that's Greg against Hollywood. Yeah. So that's a rematch of opening game, right? So Greg's coming here opening game. And for people that don't know, Greg was the GM and part owner of a team that Hollywood was the coach for, and they won championships together. They had some great seasons together. Now he's running the GM. Now he's running the Pennsylvania team, and Hollywood's out here coaching the Las Vegas team. So, it's a little bit of a rivalry. They're still very close to this day, but well, trust me, they both want to win and have bragging rights between them. So I think those are two great games to keep an eye on this year in the league, and how that pans out.
Yeah, and it's cool, all these storylines that start to emerge, especially as we get into the season and rivalries start to develop. I think we're all super excited for that, for sure. So I wanted to bring it back to the website. Like I said, I noticed yesterday, I went to the website yesterday and noticed it was completely redone. And I was watching the live stream with Corrine and Dan Lust, and they mentioned it too. They mentioned that the website had been redone. So my question is, what brought about that change, and what made you guys want to redo the website?
Well, we always knew that the first website was just a placeholder. What we were doing is looking for the right partners to partner with on certain things. Listen, the guy that did the website did an incredible job. He did it quickly. He moves at our pace. He did a great job in the presentation. He sent me a presentation. I didn't ask for it. Then he walked me through a tutorial. He also was able to handle our merchandise the way I wanted to get handled. I wanted something I thought was easy to navigate, easy for the fans to get in, buy the merchandise they're wanting. Listen, our merchandise is a really good deal, because if you're in Europe and you buy merch, it's going to get drop shipped from the European manufacturers, so it's going to be there in 3 days. Same thing in US. Doesn't matter where you are, you're getting it in 3 days. So when you look at that, when you look at this guy was a friend of an executive of the company. He came as a referral. When we started talking, I felt like the conversations went great. I sent the template over to Casey. I said, Casey, what do you think of this? And he walked through, and we both had the same kind of opinion that there's some things that could have been better, but the overall template he sent us, I thought was really cool, the way they integrated our social media and some things they did with social media. But from there, he went above and beyond my expectations when he showed me the finished product. And so I was really happy with him. He's easy to work with. And I just think it's been a good working relationship in a very short period of time. But it was always on our plate that we wanted a new website. We knew that. But we wanted one that we thought was going to be very functional. And we saw a lot of different offers and a lot of different templates come in. And I thought a lot of them looked like they belonged back in 2000, 2005 kind of years. And then when he brought in this modern stuff with the technology involved, and Casey signed off on it. Casey said, yeah, man, he's easy to work with, and he's got some good stuff, and we can make it better. So even what you saw yesterday, there's been a big change. There's been some changes. We added the schedule in. We went in and fixed some things, and we're constantly upgrading, constantly making improvements to it. But I think it's something that the fans will appreciate. It gives a lot more information. I think it's easier. It's got great articles. It's got great video. And it's got, it makes it easier to get your tickets. It makes it easier to buy your merchandise. It makes it easier to follow what we're doing. We're going to add some interactive pieces in there. And then I just think that I'm happy with the guy that we're working with. I think he's done a great job.
And more updates
That's good.
to come on the website.
Michael Klein says there's only one Warriors t-shirt available in the fan shop. Is that because of a logo change? Maybe you could fill this question, Tom.
Yeah, Casey and I have these conversations all the time. Listen, I guess this is a breaking story. So we're paying out the guy that won the logo contest. He won the logo contest. He sent us the logos. Unfortunately, the formats that he sent him probably aren't usable. The files that he's in. So the simple answer is yes, it is because of that. But a lengthy answer is we're going to reconnect with him and see if there's something else that we can do with if there's different versions of the logo we created. If not, we've had a lot of feedback, and people come back and say they like the original logo. So, the interesting part is when we did the logo contest internally in our office, the old logo won by a landslide. I was the only one in the office that wasn't a fan of the three-headed monster. Everybody else was. since we had the logo contest, and again, the guy won, it's a good logo. I don't know if we can use it. However, he's getting paid and he won, but we still might utilize the old logo. And you're going to start to see that, I think, on some stuff, some marketing pieces. Speaking of Dusseldorf, since the question's coming out in Dusseldorf, we are at the PSD Bank Dome at the hockey game on Friday night. You can get 2-for-1 season tickets there. Our groups are going to be there. I think some players, the coach, the GM will be there. It's Friday night, the 13th. I think it's DEG's playing hockey, and our reps are going to be there.
That's a good thing for you to know, Michael, because I know you're a super fan of the Dusseldorf Warriors. So you should show up to the hockey game and get your 2-for-1 season tickets.
Well, go talk to the players, Michael. I'm sure they'd love to talk to you, man. We know you're a big fan. But I know Pascal's going to be there. Brandon's going to be there. I think the new quarterback's in town, and I think some of the players are there. So you should go check out a good hockey game. I know that I'm pretty sure we're going to have a commercial on the jumbotron promoting the team, and yeah. So go check it out.
Nick Durst says, "I love the merch. I just wish the Great Eights had a black or blue hoodie."
Yeah, like I was going to say, like there's going to be new merch coming, updates to the merch. It's going to be constantly building. So for every team, so be on the lookout. I think we have some Utah stuff up there, but more will definitely be coming up. Hoodies, everything.
Hey, listen, guys, flood our Facebook and Instagram and tell us what you want on there. Casey's the guy. Casey can make that happen. So flood us with what you guys are looking for, and we'll put it up there.
Yeah, it's true, because the only way that we know what you want is if you tell us. So for those of you who want certain things, just flood the Facebook, the Instagram, social media pages, and just let us know what you want as far as merch goes.
I think we're going to be doing it all, hopefully. Trinkets and all kind of, different clothing, merch, all that kind of stuff is all coming. So
I'm pretty sure we can pretty much do it. I'm pretty sure our merchant supplier can do whatever we ask him to do.
For sure.
Yeah, I think it would be cool to get, like window stickers for cars and stuff like that too. And I think a lot of people would enjoy that too.
That's right.
Well, there you go, Casey. There you go, buddy. There's your stickers.
Yeah.
I'm going to screenshot that. Bro. Don't take it down just yet.
Casey's a big proponent of stickers. He's been bringing it up, and the COO hasn't listened at all. So there you go, Casey. You're onto something, bud.
There's time. It's all coming. It's all to come. A lot of stuff.
Yeah. So, Tom, one thing I wanted to ask you, and this is something that I was kind of wondering about last night when I was watching the live stream with Dan and Kareen. But Dan said that with the playoff structure, it still hasn't been completely set in stone. He said that you favor a 6-team playoff, and he was looking more towards like a 4-team playoff. So what's going on with that as far as the playoffs go?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be 6.
6 teams? Okay. I was
you can probably you can probably bank that.
Yeah, because he mentioned that, and I was thinking to myself, well, there's 10 teams, so I was just curious because it seems like that would have already been set in stone, but that's good to know. And for those,
I didn't catch that. I didn't catch that live yesterday, so I'm not sure what context that was in.
Yeah.
But there's the top 3 teams from Europe are going to play the top 3 teams, and they're coming over here, and we're going to seed them against the top 3 teams, the U.S. So 16 playoff.
So the number 1 team in each conference will get a bye, and
correct.
Okay,
that's correct.
All right, that makes sense, and that's so kind of like the old NFL playoff structure where.
Yeah, but it's going to be. It's definitely going to be. It's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be a double elimination tournament.
Okay, cool. Double elimination. That's unique. I like that.
Yeah.
Michael Klein says, thank you to all the IAL employees for your great work. Yeah, we appreciate it. And the guys in the office are working so hard. They put in long days to get this thing ready. So we all appreciate your your compliment, Michael. Thank you. So another question I had for you, Tom, is what are the advantages of having this league be centrally owned rather than like individual owners?
Well, listen, I think the main thing is the fans can count on the teams actually showing up and playing the games. I think they can count on consistency for entertainment and entertainment focus across the league. I think in some of the leagues out there, I think you have one or two teams that do it right, and then you have a bunch of teams that don't, and that's what creates a lot of the problems in a lot of the leagues out there. And so the centralized model, obviously it takes a lot more money. It takes a lot more labor to do that than just one team. But in the end, I think that's how you become sustainable and scalable. And in the end, that I think that's what the fans should be able to count on teams making it through the season and putting out good product and putting out good entertainment and putting out good value for the money that they put into it. And I think that's the biggest difference. And I think you're going to see that when we kick off when we get through the season this year.
Yeah, and I totally agree. And I think that's one of the reasons why, you see leagues like the United Football League, it's a spring league, that have lasted for as long as they have because of that centrally owned model. Like you said, Tom, the individual owners, sometimes you run into problems where some of them do it right, some of them don't, and then that causes problems with the league. But I think with our model, it sets us up for success for all the teams to be owned by the league itself. So I think I totally agree with you.
Yeah, listen, I think listen, the fans, Michael, you're right, man. It takes a lot of work from a lot of people to make this happen. There's a lot of people you still haven't met. There's a lot more people like Casey that are doing a lot of work behind the scenes. A lot of people doing a lot of work on video and editing on social media. It's not easy. I mean, we give them tight deadlines and time constraints and ask them to do a lot of work in a short period of time. So it's not the easiest thing. But in the end, I think everybody is excited about seeing what we put together. We're excited about the season being just 6 weeks away, and what we're going to be doing. And again, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of arena football, and so I'm looking forward to it.
Nick Durst says, with the playoffs being in Vegas this year, will the playoffs next year be held in Europe, like a rotation on where they're at? It's probably a question for Tom.
Europe or someplace else. He is right. They're going to be on a rotating schedule, and we plan on traveling. So whether they're in Europe, I mean, and keep in mind when you say Europe now, I don't think we include UK as part of Europe. So it could be in Scotland, could be in England, could be in Germany, Switzerland, or another country we're in. It could be in South America someplace. You just don't know. But the answer is yes. It does rotate. It's not in Vegas every year. Listen, Vegas is our home. It's our home base, and we were excited about bringing the inaugural championship to the Orleans Arena. They're a great partner. Their staff is really excited about what we're bringing, especially with the Rockers and then the tournament. So I think overall, listen, I can't be happy. I couldn't be happier about the way things are panning out for the league. I mean, we had a pretty big couple days. We onboarded a very large global attorney firm to handle all the player contracts. We onboarded a very large immigration firm to handle all their visas. We are finalizing our presentation with insurance to handle insurance across the globe for all the players and everything this Friday. And it kind of is everything that everybody keeps saying we're not doing. We are doing it, and we just keep showing that we're doing it, and that we're, again, the fans just need to know this. And so we've had a big couple of weeks, and getting ready for this. We've now had tryouts in 5 countries. We've got over 200, and I think we're over 225 players signed to the league. Coaches are fired up. The GMs are fired up. The staff comes in every day looking for more to do and what can we do. And it seems like they get better and better and working together every day. So I like where the IL is, and I just, I think the fans are really going to enjoy it. Because in the end, I care more about what happens almost outside the walls of the field than inside the walls of the field. And so the experience that the fans get with catching the footballs and the T-shirts and the interaction with the players and the coaches, the music that we're going to have, the different halftime showcases that we're going to have, and everything we're going to have, I think is just different. And it's just we're pulling. We have some interesting meetings that we go into on a daily basis to build out the entertainment.
We have another chat that says, does the IAL have an email address, or do the Las Vegas Rockers have an email address, or a different way to get a hold of the Rockers? I have DM'd via Messenger the Las Vegas Rockers with no success. I am at STH with some questions.
Season ticket holder with some questions. Send them to. Send the questions to Pedro, Pedro, Pedro. Wait a second. This person said they DM'd somebody questions about season tickets for the Rockers, and we didn't respond?
They DM'd the Las Vegas Rockers is what it looks like, yeah.
Do it right now. Put your questions in there right now, and the staff is on alert right now to answer the question. Put your question in either Instagram, Facebook, and the staff needs to be prepared to answer that question, whatever the questions are. Jason, who's producing this, can turn around and tell Pedro and social media to get that question answered right now.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. We try and be as responsive to the fans as possible. We put our fans first, and so we'll definitely get your question answered one way or another.
Yeah, I apologize. Yeah, we need to do a better job on that.
So Casey, I have a question for you. What's been one of your biggest challenges so far designing team identities and uniforms and everything that goes into that?
I think the challenges is probably the amount of teams that there are. 10 teams with no identity, so we're kind of going at it fresh. So I mean, it's fun, but it's also a challenge to really develop all that, pretty quickly to get ready for the season, give all these teams and cities their own identity. So it was a bit of a challenge. It was a fun challenge, but that's that's what we're here to do, be creative.
Brayden, what's your favorite logo, Brayden?
My favorite logo? I think my favorite logo is either going to be the Pennsylvania Benjamins. I like that skeleton wearing the hat. I think that's pretty dope. And or the Rockers. I like the rocker guy. So it's probably a tie. It's a tie between the Benjamins and the Rockers. What's your favorite logo?
I have 3 actually, and 2 of them you just named: the Benjamins, the Rockers, and then my third one is I love the England Eruptors logo.
That's probably my favorite.
Those 3, I think, look good on all everything. And I think each one is very unique and cool. I just think it's fun. I think each one you look at and you're like, oh, that looks cool.
Yeah, and once the fans are able to see that on the side of the helmet on the field, I think it's going to add a whole new meaning. I think that part of team identity is getting to see your favorite team play in those uniforms with that logo on the side of the helmet, and I think that that's part of what makes it special too. So I think as the season goes on, the identities are going to take on a whole new meaning for fans as they watch their team play.
Sure. Okay. And there'll probably be new slogans and there's going to be all kind of new stuff coming up too for every team. So, as the teams build,
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, with slogans, I noticed that a lot of teams will have slogans. Like, for instance, I'm from Utah, and so the Utah Jazz, what they say is "take note." That's their slogan, is "take note." And I think that as the season goes on, there's going to be different slogans for different teams. Sure. I think it'd be cool if the Rockers had something like "Rock Out" or something like that. And so I think that
the marketing pieces, the slogan of the marketing pieces is "Are you rocking with us?"
Are you rocking with us? I like
that.
Yeah.
So, from there you can go, "We rock, I rock." A lot of cool things I think Casey's going to be able to do. The new campaign, I think, up in Salt Lake City is "Let's be great together." From there, you can go, "We're great" or "I'm great." pull some really cool merch there. So we got some cool things I think we're doing, and I think the fans are going to like. And I think the Rockers, believe it or not, a local musician sent a song into Hollywood, and there's some pieces of that song that we really like that I think you'll hear during the games when they score touchdowns or something. I think the fans are really going to like, and it's kind of a catchy little song theme. So I think there's some really cool things that are going on to really customize each one of our teams. Listen, a lot of the stuff in Europe kind of kicks off on Friday night, right? With the presence at the PSD Bank Dome. We got tryouts happening over the next couple of weeks for Nottingham, Glasgow, and there's just things going on all over the place that you really got to look at and say, oh, this is pretty cool. And so it's something for all the fans in all the different places.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure fans are going to be looking forward to that too. So we have a chat from Maddie Kohler. She says, okay, so I have a question. The guys that have already tried out for the first Benjamin round still haven't heard anything. Will they know something soon? Because they are having another tryout on the 22nd, and my boyfriend needs to know if he made the team or not, or if he should retry out.
Well, that's a great question. Since I wasn't at that tryout, I don't know what information they distributed ahead of time on how the process was going to work. Let me ask you this, Brayden. When they ask the question, do we see their Instagram and Facebook so we can have someone respond to them from the team?
Yeah, it showed up. Yeah, Maddie Kohler is her name. It showed up with just her Facebook name.
So we'll have either the head coach or the GM respond, and maybe do a better job following up. Something I can talk to Greg about. We talk to Greg, a couple times a week. I don't know the answer to that, unfortunately, because I'm not in charge of the football ops.
Okay, so yeah, we'll have someone reach out to you, Maddie, and we'll make sure you're in the loop with that. So for the person that asked the question about not being able to get a hold of the Las Vegas Rockers, you can email at internationalarenaleague@gmail.com for questions. The Las Vegas Rockers just dropped that in the chat. So you can email that email, or you can message the Rockers on Facebook again if you want to, and we'll make sure that somebody reaches back out to you. So just moving on with the questions here. So I know I asked this question to Tom last week, but I know that there's a lot of new people in chat. What are the plans for being able to watch the games? Are we going to have that on a streaming platform, or streaming on YouTube or Twitch?
Yeah. We're actually talking with both. We're talking with both smaller streaming companies and larger streaming companies, and we're actually going through a process right now where we're trying to figure out what makes the most sense. So right now, but what I can tell you is that we know that there's going to be a partnership with a gaming company, a gambling company, and there will be an announcement in early April about that. So we know some of the games will be streamed in there. We have offers in different regions right now in which we're talking to a streaming company in the UK, another company in Germany that wants to showcase the games, and then a third, which is an international company that's well known, we're talking to. So there's some regional aspects and there's some international aspects. I think you'll see more local deals in the US and maybe more streaming deals overseas. That's I'm a betting guy, and that's the way I would bet right now.
And then another question that I've seen fans bring up is, are single game tickets on sale, or is it just season tickets? And if not, when will single game tickets go on sale?
Yeah, so typically they go on sale. Single game tickets go on sale 2 weeks before the team's first home game. So it's typically 2 weeks. Look for 2 weeks before the team's first home game. We do a big focus on season tickets because we offer so many benefits for the season ticket holders. And to be honest with you, the most successes of teams are built around season tickets. And I know a lot of people are trying to figure out if we're real or if we're not real and this and that. But what I can tell you is get out and get your season tickets. That's where you want to be. You're going to get a lot more probably interaction. You're going to get a lot better seats. You're going to get those seats for the next 5-10 years. And a lot of benefits come with that, from sponsors working with you to different accessible parties and VIP stuff that we do. So that's why we hold out the single game tickets until 2 weeks before the season.
Yeah, I totally agree. Season tickets are the way to go. You're going to get the best bang for your buck if you get season tickets. So yeah, I totally agree with you on that, Tom.
I'd say look out. I'd say in man, I don't know the dates off the top of my head. I think Nottingham, is March 18th. I think that's the number we just came up with, where we're going to be at the Nottingham hockey game, doing the same thing there that we're doing in Dusseldorf on the 13th. It's going to be in Nottingham on the 18th. There's going to be, representatives from the team, the coach, the GM at the arena, doing buy one, get one season tickets. Pennsylvania, like I said, that's getting announced today. Dusseldorf's announced. Stuttgart, I think we're trying to wrap something up with a soccer game that's coming up in early April. Cincinnati, I think we'll have probably something on that early next week. So just keep an eye out, because we're starting to do a lot of promotions. You're starting to see us on radio over here. The commercials. Listen, our video team put together some great commercials that I said, wow, I like these. We've had great commercials. We've had great feedback on them. They're a constant theme for every team. You're going to start to see a lot more of the teams and the markets, and I think it's time that we're going to start to see the players out in the schools talking with the youth, the GMs out there doing things. So I think that you're going to start to see a lot more across the board for all the teams.
Yeah, and I've already been noticing that there's been commercials and stuff. My dad texted me and said he was listening to the radio and he heard a Great Eights commercial.
Yeah.
He lives up near Salt Lake City, and so I thought that was really cool that we're starting to get the word out, and people are excited too. I've been paying attention to the social medias, and people are excited. I mean, Utah hasn't had a arena football team in quite some time. And so people are excited to have it back. And as far as Las Vegas goes, people are excited as well. People are excited everywhere, really. Nick
you better not
says,
sleep on Cy Burley, man. You're talking about one of the greats of all time that's going to be coaching guys. I mean, listen, they've got some great announcements on a quarterback and some players he's got coming in here. Don't sleep on this market, because this market to me was the most passionate fan base I ever saw in arena football. Watch out for the Great Eights.
Yeah, I agree.
They're going to be a fun team to watch.
Nick Durst in chat, he's a Utah boy. He says, do season tickets get delivered 2 weeks before the first game as well?
I'm trying to think of the market by market breakdown. I think the Great Eights are a digital. I could be wrong, but I think it's all digital. So you should have a Ticketmaster link. And if you don't have a Ticketmaster link, reach out to drop into one of the Great Eights social media pages and let them know you haven't got that yet. And I'll have our ticketing director reach out to you, because I'm pretty sure that the Great Eights are on Ticketmaster, which is digital. I don't think you're getting physical tickets. I think you're getting digital tickets.
So there you go, Nick Durst. And he also says the Utah Great Eights will be the home of the league's 9th man. Yeah, I totally agree.
Well, now, wait a second. For those, all right, so you just read me into something. So number 9 is retired. There's no number 9 across the league. It belongs to the fans. So number 9 jersey is retired. There is no number 9 jersey throughout the league. There's nobody's going to be wearing number 9, because that belongs to the fans.
Similar to the NBA, how number 6 is retired across the league.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really awesome. And that just goes to show how much Tom and everybody else puts the fans first. We recognize that we'd be nothing without the people that show up and support. And so that's cool that number 9 is retired across the league and not in use. Nick Durst says, I don't have a Ticketmaster link.
Who said that? Grade eights.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have him drop it in Facebook tell him to go into Facebook or I think Instagram for the grade eights and say, hey, contact me, man. How do I get my tickets? They'll reach out to him today. They'll connect with him today.
Or you can email internationalarenaleague@gmail.com as well. And we'll make sure that you're taken care of, Nick. We'll make sure that it gets resolved.
Yep.
So my next question is, will there be an IAL app? I know that we've seen the website and it looks great, but will there be an app for people that prefer, mobile apps over websites?
Good question. It's interesting because that came up yesterday in the office, and I never really thought about it because, to me, as long as it's a web application, PWA, progressive web app, some of those eat up less space than a traditional and a native app. I'd have to look at the benefits versus the disadvantages for users. So it's not something I would say no, and it's not something I'd say yes. I have never looked at the benefits versus disadvantages for users.
Okay. Yeah, I've just seen that question, and I myself was wondering too, because I tend to favor mobile apps over over websites, and I know a lot of the younger generation.
Why do you favor them? Is it a convenience? Is it a trust?
Just more convenience,
what is it?
Yeah, it's just
convenience?
more convenient. It's more convenient and less steps to access it. If you're on a web browser, you have to go to the web browser, type it in, everything, and if it's an app on your phone, just one click.
You should be able to save. No, so this should be I think this is a progressive web app, which you should be able to save to your home screen as an icon.
Okay.
So the site should function as an app. You should be able to save it to your home screen as an icon. And so you don't have to. Yeah, you don't. I don't think you have to type in ilfootball.com every time.
Okay. Yeah. That's good to know, and it's good to know for everyone else who feels the same way as me.
Yeah.
So I have one more question that I prepared. So we're just over a month out from official kickoff. What are some things that have been accomplished, and then what are some things that still need to be prepared?
Oh, wow. Well, are you asking me or are you asking design?
No, I'm asking you, Tom, head man in charge.
Well, we don't have enough time to answer all this. Bottom line is there's a lot to do, a little bit of time, and we're going to do it. So, listen, we have to pull together games, officials, and we have constant communication going on right now between our coaches, our officials, the GMs, the staff, going back and forth. I mean, if people would be amazed at what goes on in an office with only a staff of, we're probably around 30, 35 right now here, just in that location, probably another 30, 35, around the globe, plus the players and coaches. It's a lot of communication. And so it's really trying to fine tune that communication and make sure we move efficiently. I would say the biggest, if you ask Dan, he'd probably say focusing on the travel and making sure that we have all the right travel accommodations across the league. If you asked me, I would say it's more communicating with the fans. I'd say the biggest thing that we have to do over the next 4 weeks is really communicate and educate the fans that aren't fans yet that we want to be fans. And I think education of what to expect at the games and what the differences are between the outdoor game, American outdoor game, and the American indoor game, and what they should expect for value and what kind of experience should they expect. Listen, in the end, there's a lot of value if you have a child that's 5 or 6 years old and you get to catch a football and then go down on the field and throw it around with them on the field after the game and have the players sign it, they get that. There's value in that. If you get to go down and players get to go down and meet the players after the game and shake their hand and say, hey, good job, and thank you, and thanks for putting on a good show, there's value in that. There's value in a lot of things. But we have to get the players and the coaches out in the schools. We have to get them out in the camps, and we have to we just have to do a better job of educating the fans. That would be my statement.
I agree. And that's all the questions that I had. I don't know if there's anything else before we wrap up, or anything else you want to let people know.
No, I think it's good that they got a chance to meet Casey and hear him talk about some of his daily. He's really quiet. He's actually very modest. He does a great job in the office. He had a rougher morning than he likes to admit. You know, he got pulled into a meeting. You know, walks into a meeting. He was told he had a tight deadline. He had to get it done. And he, you know, something we had to get done yesterday had to be done now, and then this has to be done. So, and he rallies around. And he gets the troops to do it. And so I think it's good that you get a chance to see some of these guys. And get to know who's really behind some of the stuff you guys get to see.
Yeah, thank you, Casey, for
talented people there. What's that? I'm
Good
sorry,
to hear you,
Brayden?
Casey.
Well, I'm saying we definitely have some very talented people here throughout social media, design, video, ticket department, you name it. You know, so everyone's doing a really good job to get this league going, man. You know.
Yeah. Proud of everybody.
Thank you, Casey.
They're doing a good job.
Yeah, thanks for taking time out of your schedule. I know that you have a lot of tight deadlines, and so thank you for taking time to sit with us on this live. And I think a lot of people enjoyed hearing about the design side of things. So thank you.
I'm going to go.
Thanks, Brayden. I'm going to go enjoy the cold weather up here in Salt Lake City and say, let's go, Great Eights.
Yes. You enjoy the cold weather.
Brayden, I was just going to say, man, thank you for having me on. I'd love to come back when the games get
thanks,
going.
Guys.
We'd love to have you back too.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Bye. Well, thank you for all the people in chat who had questions, and we're grateful for all our fans. So with that being said, we'll wrap up here.
Yeah. Take care. We'll see you at the games.
Thank you.